Hello and welcome to For You. This is Reese.
This is Chickling.
And today we are having a conversation about one of the cutest animals out there.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
We're talking about squirrels. I think in Chinese it's called 松鼠.
Yeah, 松鼠.
松鼠. They're so cute.
I know.
Are there 松鼠 in Taiwan?
I think I've seen a few when I was young. Not recently.
Oh, actually, I remember. I was walking around the campus of Taiwan University, the National University, and there were some squirrels in the trees there. They're super cute.
I know. I really want to keep one as a pet, but it's not legal, right?
Yeah, I don't think they make very good pets. And those squirrels are gray, but today we're talking about red squirrels.
In the UK?
So, yeah, in the UK, the title of our article is The UK Races to Save Its Red Squirrels. And actually, this is something that I remember learning about when I was in school back in England. Because it's kind of a big issue for British people.
Yeah.
Well, before we dive into the article, I think it's worth talking a little bit about the fauna of the UK, different animals that you find in the UK, because we have some quite interesting ones.
Like badgers?
We have badgers.
Have you seen any, like, in person?
Yeah, I've seen one. They're only out at night, so they're very hard to see.
Oh, nocturnal animals, right?
We also have hedgehogs.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're 刺猬. Is that the Chinese?
那个刺猬.
Yeah, 刺猬. They're super cute as well. But again, very hard to see because they only come out at night. We also have deer, which are super cute.
鹿.
But we don't really have any big dangerous mammals like bears or wolves. They don't exist in the UK. But squirrels are very easy to see. If you go to any park, you'll see bunches of squirrels just rocking around the trees.
Okay.
Super cute. So that's what today's article is about. It's about saving the red squirrels, which are a special kind of squirrel in the UK. So let's get into it.
Yay.
Reading.
The UK races to save its red squirrels. Nothing is more delightful than seeing busy little squirrels running around a park. Almost everyone loves watching these creatures climb, jump, and search for food. It might surprise you then to learn that some squirrels are in danger. Without protection, the UK's red squirrels could disappear in just 10 years. Much of the reason for this is the introduction of grey squirrels to the UK, which happened in the 1890s. Grey squirrels are larger and stronger. They're also better at competing for food and space than red squirrels, because grey squirrels can digest more kinds of seeds. As a result, the country's red squirrels have been pushed into areas where it's harder to survive. Another problem grey squirrels have brought with them is squirrel pox. They can carry this virus without any effects, but it kills red squirrels. It causes sores to grow around their faces and feet, and soon they can't see or eat well enough to live. These problems are having serious effects, and animal scientists are worried.
Okay, so today's article begins by saying that nothing is more delightful than seeing busy little squirrels running around a park. Well, that's something that I can attest to. Definitely when I was a kid, I remember seeing squirrels in the trees, and I was so excited by them. They are delightful. That's one of our vocabulary words. Delightful, it's an adjective, and it describes something that's very nice and makes you feel good. You can describe pretty much anything as delightful, such as food, a person, a place, or even an experience. For example, this soup is just delightful, or we had a delightful day at the beach.
Yeah, 所以它就是令人愉快的意思。那刚刚老师讲到的就是松鼠很可爱啊，所以你看到它们就会觉得哇，好开心哦。那所以你其实除了形容松鼠或事物，你也可以形容一个人很和气。比如说 Monica is delightful， 代表她很和气。那这个字呢，其实是来自于一个名词跟它的动词形态 delight， 它就是有欣喜或使谁开心的意思。那它的形容词当然就可以再 变成说形容一个人的时候就是 delighted。比如说 I'm so delighted with our new place. 我好喜欢我们的新家哦。
And then we actually have our vocabulary word, which is squirrel, which we've already talked about quite a lot. So squirrels are those small animals. They've got 4 legs, they have furry bodies and a big fluffy tail, and they usually live in trees, and they can be brown or grey in color, and they eat nuts, and I think maybe some insects as well. And they live in small nests in trees. They're super cute, and they're kind of nervous, so they won't approach people very often.
Yeah.
But if you put some food close to you on the table, maybe even in your hand, they might come and eat it out of your hand.
Aw, so
super cute. So an example sentence with squirrel could be, the squirrels came down from the tree and began eating the scraps of food on the picnic table.
Yeah, 所以就是松鼠超级可爱。那这一个字呢，其实我们也可以把它变成动词。有一个片语，我们有时候会说 to squirrel something away， 因为那个松鼠很喜欢藏东西嘛，所以其实英文里面就会有譬如说你存东西或者存一些事物。那通常我们指这个片语都是指存钱的意思。那我们再造一个例句 ：Kate likes to squirrel away pictures and love letters in her closet. She said she might want to look at them when she gets old. 所以文章就是说呢，看着小松鼠跳啊跳啊，就会让人家很开心了。
I think maybe squirrels are a bit like hamsters in that they store food in their mouths as well.
Oh, I know.
So
yeah.
they get like big puffy cheeks. Very cute.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the article. Almost everyone loves watching these creatures climb, jump, and search for food. Yep, that's true. I like to do that. We have a vocabulary word here. Number 2, it's creatures. Creature is a noun, and creature is a general word for any kind of living thing, like an animal. We often use the word creature when we're talking generally about animals or things that are alive, or when we're talking about an animal and we're not exactly sure what kind of animal it is. Creature can also be used in scary stories to talk about a monster. So here's an example sentence with creature. I could hear many small creatures running around the house in the night. I wonder what they are.
所以呢，这个字就是动物或者是生物。所以呢，有生命的事物，其实英文我们可以直接说 living creatures。那么或者是平常呢，我们享受的物质享受，英文就叫做 creature comforts。比如说 he won't stand living in the woods because he loves his creature comforts too much， 代表他没有办法住在森林，因为他太喜欢他的物质享受了。所以文章就是说，几乎很多人都喜欢松鼠，因为他们都会爬呀跳啊来找食物吃。
Okay, back to the article. It might surprise you then to learn that some squirrels are in danger.
Oh, that's sad. In danger. 这个是我们今天要讲的文法。当你说 in 后面加上一个名词，它就会变成英文的介系词片语，我们来表一个状态。所以这个意思，老师刚刚这个句子就说，你可能会很惊讶，这些松鼠其实是在濒临危险的。那我们明天也会讲到一个很特别的片语是 in balance， 代表呢是表达平衡的状态。那我们先看那个例句 After trying many times, David gave up in despair. 代表呢在试了好几次之后呢 David 就绝望的放弃了。这个 in despair 就是在绝望中的意思。所以我们就知道松鼠呢是濒临危险的。Why? Why are they in danger?
Well, we're going to find out. The article will explain everything. So let's get back to it. Without protection, the UK's red squirrels could disappear in just 10 years. So before we talk about why they're in danger, let's look at a few more vocabulary words. The first is protection. Protection is a noun, and protection is the state of being protected. That means someone or something is stopping you from being hurt. To protect something means to guard it, to stop bad things from happening to it. So when you're a baby, your parents protect you, and a mother bird will work hard to protect her eggs. We use the noun form protection to talk about having or not having safety and security. So if you have protection, you should be safe. Here's an example sentence. You should always ride with a helmet because it provides protection for your head.
所以就是保护的意思。那我们也可以在老师的句子里面看到呢，这个用法 it provides protection for something 这个字。那其实呢，我们如果要用 protection 这一个字，这个是名词嘛，它的动词呢是 protect，它就是 也是保护的意思。那所以你可以说 to protect A from or against B， 代表你要保护 A 免受于 B 的伤害。那我们再造一个句子哦。I wear sunscreen to protect my skin from the sun.
Okay, well, we have another word here. It's the word disappear. Disappear is a verb, and disappear means to vanish, to not be there anymore. If something disappears, it was there before, but now it's gone. The opposite of disappear is appear. Disappear usually means that something goes away quickly or even instantly. So think of a magician who can make a person disappear in a puff of smoke.
Wow.
Here's an example sentence. As soon as the lunch bell rang, all of the students disappeared from the classroom.
Because they're hungry.
Oh yeah, that was me at school every day.
Yeah, 所以这个字就是灭绝或消失。那在文章中比较像是灭绝，因为这些松鼠呢是受到威胁的。那这个字是动词嘛？那我们也通常也会用在一个片语，就是 to disappear into thin air。这是一个片语，它代表消失的无影无踪。比如说 The money disappeared into thin air. No one knows what happened to it. 就钱就不见，大家都不知道它跑到哪里去了。那这个字呢，它的名词就是 disappearance。那文章意思就是说，如果我们再不保护这一些英国红松鼠，它们在10年内就会灭绝了。
And the article now will explain why the red squirrels are in danger.It says much of the reason for this is the introduction of grey squirrels to the UK, which happened in the 1890s. So that's like 130 years ago. Okay, let's look at this word introduction before we look at this explanation. Introduction is a noun, and an introduction is usually when you tell somebody about something for the first time. The verb is introduce, and if you introduce yourself to somebody, that means you tell them your name, where you're from, etc. But here the word introduction has a slightly different meaning. When we're talking about animals or nature, introducing an animal to a place means you bring a species of animal into a new environment that they didn't live in before.So, as we might discover, this can be quite bad for the local animals that already live there. Here's an example sentence. The introduction of the golden apple snail to Taiwan has been terrible for local farmers. This snail harms crops and is hard to get rid of.
Yeah, 所以这个字呢 introduction 这边指的是物种的引进。那老师也有提到可以当介绍的意思，所以如果是自我介绍呢，就是 self-introduction。那老师讲到的动词也有提到可以介绍你自己，那你也可以说要把一个人介绍给谁 to introduce A to B。比如说我们造一个句子 Can you hold on just one moment? I want to introduce you to my manager. 代表我想要把你介绍给我的经理。那文章就说了，会这样子的原因呢，就是红松鼠会危险，是因为灰松鼠的引进。那他们进来的时间大概是在1890年代的时候 ，like a long time ago.
Yeah, very long time ago. It's been a problem for a while.
Yeah.
Well, the article tells us more. It says that grey squirrels are larger and stronger. They're also better at competing for food and space.than red squirrels, because grey squirrels can digest more kinds of seeds. Okay, so there's the reason. Grey squirrels are basically just bigger and stronger, and so they bully the red squirrels. So the article said that they're competing for food. Let's talk about the word compete. Compete is a verb, and to compete means to fight against other people to try and win something.When people compete, usually we do so by playing games or sports. But when animals compete, they fight each other and things can get scary. When we talk about animals competing, they're not playing games. They're fighting for the food and the space that they need to live. Here's an example sentence with compete. The school's basketball team will compete in the championship at the end of next week.
所以 compete 就是争夺或竞争。那我们文章中出现的呢是 compete for something， 就是争夺什么。那他们要争夺什么呢？就是争夺食物跟空间。那如果你今天是要跟一个对象竞争，我们就会变成 to compete with someone。比如说 How do you think it's easy for a small grocery store to compete with a supermarket? 代表说 你以为一个很小的 grocery store 怎么跟一个很大间的 supermarket 比较呢？那这个字呢，它的名词是 competition， 就是比赛。那当然，如果是比赛里面的人，就是竞争者，英文就是 competitor。那 I think it has an adjective, right?
Yeah, competitive.
代表很有竞争性的。
Are you competitive?
Depends on what it is.
Yeah, when I'm playing video games, I can get very competitive.
Oh, I know.
I really want to win. Okay, we have another word here to talk about, and it's the word digest. It's kind of a scientific word. Digest is a verb, and digest is when you have food in your stomach and your body breaks it down. Your body digests food so that you can get all the good nutrients and energy from the food that you eat. Anything that you don't need gets pooped out of your body. The body is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, eating and swallowing your food slowly can help you digest it better. Some good advice.
Yeah. 所以消化这个字 digest， 那除了呢是身体上的消化，也可以指资讯上的吸收哦。比如说 I needed more time to digest the chapter because it was so difficult， 代表你需要一点时间去消化这个章节，因为太难了。那这个字的名词是 digestion。那文章就说灰松鼠因为很大只，然后又比较强壮，所以他们在争夺食物跟空间的时候呢，也会比较占优势。那另一方面是因为灰松鼠可以消化比较多种类的种子。
The gray squirrels are just better than the red squirrels in so many ways.
One?
Yeah. Huh?
Or have you seen one like a gray squirrel in person?
Yeah, I've seen both red and gray, but the red ones are harder to see now because there's just not so many of them.
Oh, that's so sad.
Well, the article tells us more. It says, as a result, the country's red squirrels have been pushed into areas where it's harder to survive.
OK， 所以 as a result 就是因此，所以我们就知道，因此呢，红松鼠就被逼迫到比较难生存的地方了。
Okay, the article tells us another problem. Another problem gray squirrels have brought with them is squirrel pox.
Sounds like something that's so bad.
Yeah, it sounds like some kind of disease.
Yeah. 所以这个东西其实中文叫做松鼠痘或松鼠脓疱，它是一个 virus。所以呢，这个灰松鼠也带来一个问题哦，它就是松鼠痘病毒。
Oh, it gets even worse. The article tells us that they can carry this virus without any effects, but it kills red squirrels.
Wow.
So the gray squirrels, they can survive having this disease, but the red squirrels, they just die.
Okay, yeah. That's why you don't really see many of them now. Yeah, 所以我们说这个 virus 就是病毒啊。那他们身上其实灰松鼠身上是带有可以杀死红松鼠的病毒，不过他们自己根本就不受影响哦。
Yeah, so the word virus, I think everybody's familiar with this word now, thanks to coronavirus. Yeah, I think everyone's a bit more aware of the dangers of viruses nowadays. So a virus is like a tiny living thing that gets inside the body of people and animals and makes them sick. Not very nice. Okay, back to the article. It's talking more about the squirrel pox. It says, it causes sores to grow around their faces and feet, and soon they can't see or eat well enough to live.
OK， 所以我们在这边就知道说，这个病毒啊，它会让松鼠的脸、脚都产生的溃疡会烂掉，然后很快呢，他们就看不到，他们就失去视力了，也没有办法好好的吃东西，最后就真的死亡了。
Not good. The article wraps up for day one here, and it says these problems are having serious effects, and animal scientists are worried.
当然 I'm worried too.
Yeah.
所以这些问题其实很严重，动物科学家们就非常的担心。
Yeah, well, I hope the red squirrels can pull through. Perhaps tomorrow we'll learn more about if there is a solution to help us save the red squirrels. But that's all for day one, so let's go to our For You chat question.
You chat.
So our For You chat question for today is, what are some other problems that might be caused by bringing animals into new areas?
Well, another famous example of when this has happened, the introduction of a species has caused disruption, was in Australia. The cane toad, which is kind of a big fat kind of frog, was brought to Australia, and it completely just killed out the local frog and toad populations because similar to the grey and the red squirrel, the cane toad was just bigger and stronger, and it was able to compete better.
Oh, okay.
So now there are just so many cane toads around.
What do they look like?
They're like big, ugly, kind of warty. Think of like a toad in like a cartoon.
蟾蜍是吧?
Yeah, they're like big fat frogs, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're
not that green, but they're darker in color.
Yeah, they're kind of brown or orangey.
And little lumps on their back.
Yeah, they're lumpy and they're not very pretty.
Yeah, I know.
But, we have to be very careful when taking animals across waters, especially to islands, because it can be really bad for local populations of animals and for plants as well.
Yeah, true.
If we introduce a new animal to a place that has a particular kind of plant, that animal could just eat it all.
Yeah.
Right? And the farmers are going to lose all of their crops and money.
I mean, it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah. It's got to be very careful. But nowadays, I think we're more aware of the problems that could come from this. Well, you guys can think about this question too. What are some other problems that might be caused by bringing animals into new areas? Maybe you can find some examples about Taiwan. But that's all we have for today. We'll be back tomorrow for more information about the red and grey squirrels. I'm Reese.
I'm Chickling.
And we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Squirrel. Ryan went to the park and saw many squirrels climbing trees and eating nuts. Creature. This forest is home to a number of creatures, such as black bears and foxes. Protection. The workers at the mine all wear helmets for their own protection. Disappear. The Hakka people of Taiwan have seen some of their culture and traditions disappear in recent years. Introduction. Thanks to the introduction of the new subway system, people are able to easily travel around the city. Compete. The two best soccer teams will compete in the final game of the World Cup.
智慧小补帖
Delightful. Digest. Virus.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net